Imagine this. You're scrolling through social media, bombarded with picture-perfect smiles, exotic vacations, and motivational quotes telling you to choose happiness. It feels like everyone has figured it out but you. Here's the trap: they haven't. We've been sold the idea that happiness is the ultimate life goal, a perfectly packaged dream marketed to us by industries making billions off our dissatisfaction. New gadgets, diet plans, self-help books, all promising to fill a void that just won't go away. But here's the harsh truth: the happiness they're selling doesn't exist. The pursuit of happiness has become a game we're rigged to lose. It's a mirage, pulling us forward but always out of reach. Why? Because chasing happiness keeps us distracted, exhausted, and stuck. Think about it. When was the last time you actually felt like you had enough? What if the very idea of happiness is the problem? What if this endless chase isn't leading to fulfillment but trapping us in a cycle of emptiness? This isn't a motivational speech. It's a wake-up call. And by the end of this video, you'll see happiness in a way you never imagined before. Think about a dog chasing its tail. From a distance, it might seem funny or even adorable, but for the dog, it's a frantic, exhausting loop with no end in sight. Now imagine we're the dog, and the tail we're chasing is happiness. Society tells us that happiness is just one milestone away: a promotion, a bigger house, a picture-perfect relationship. Movies, ads, even well-meaning friends push this narrative. Once you have this, you'll be happy. But what happens when you reach that milestone? The goalpost moves. Suddenly, there's a new this to chase. And so the cycle begins again. Take career success as an example. You work hard, land that dream job, and feel on top of the world for a moment. But then you notice someone else has a higher salary, a flashier title, or more recognition. Instead of feeling satisfied, you feel like you're falling behind. Happiness slips away like sand through your fingers. This isn't just a personal struggle, it's a societal design. Industries thrive on our dissatisfaction. They convince us that happiness lies in a new car, a smaller waistline, or the latest tech gadget. When we buy in, we're momentarily excited, until the novelty fades and we're left wanting more. Even social media plays a role. We scroll through highlight reels of other people's lives, comparing their best moments to our worst days. We see someone's engagement post and wonder why we're still single. We see a vacation picture and suddenly feel trapped in our routine. It's a vicious cycle of comparison and inadequacy, and it drains us. But why does chasing happiness feel so exhausting? Because we're chasing something that isn't designed to last. Happiness, as we think of it, is fleeting. It's a dopamine rush, a temporary high. It's not meant to be a permanent state, yet we're conditioned to believe it should be. Relatable metaphor? Imagine running on a treadmill. No matter how fast or far you go, the scenery doesn't change. You're expending energy, sweating buckets, but you're stuck in the same place. That's the pursuit of happiness. It tricks us into thinking we're making progress, when in reality, we're just wearing ourselves out. What's worse, this cycle can lead to disillusionment. When we don't feel happy, we think something is wrong with us. We question our choices, our worth, even our identity. We forget that life isn't supposed to be a constant state of euphoria. It's messy, unpredictable, and often uncomfortable. And that's okay. So why do we keep running in circles? Because it's easier than asking the hard questions. What if happiness isn't the goal? What if the real fulfillment comes from something deeper, something society isn't selling us? Before we answer that, let's pause. If happiness isn't the finish line, then what is? Keep watching. You might just find the answer in the most unexpected place. Imagine your brain as a mischievous little chemist with a wicked sense of humor. Its favorite potion: dopamine. Every time you eat a slice of pizza, hear a ding from your phone, or score a great deal at a sale, that sneaky chemist releases a dose of dopamine, lighting up your brain like a carnival. It's the chemical equivalent of your brain saying, "Ooh, that felt good. Let's do it again." Now, dopamine isn't evil. It's essential for survival. Back in the caveman days, It rewarded us for doing things that kept us alive, finding food, reproducing, or escaping danger. But here's the problem. Our modern world has hacked this ancient system. Instead of hunting mammoths or gathering berries, we get dopamine hits from scrolling TikTok, binge-watching shows, or devouring an entire bag of chips at midnight. Think of dopamine like a party host. It shows up with confetti, music, and snacks, making everything feel amazing for a moment. But then it leaves, and it takes all the good vibes with it. What's left? The cleanup crew, regret, emptiness, and a craving for another dopamine fix. This is where the trap begins. Your brain gets addicted to the quick hits. You're not chasing happiness anymore. You're chasing that dopamine rush. And just like a bad movie sequel, it takes bigger and bigger doses to feel the same thrill. The first sip of coffee, heaven. The 10th cup, barely keeps your eyes open. Ever wonder why checking your phone feels like a compulsion? Every notification, like, or text is a tiny dopamine hit. It's why you open Instagram just for a minute and suddenly find yourself deep in a rabbit hole, watching videos of penguins wearing bow ties. Your brain rewards you for engaging with these fleeting distractions, even though they add zero value to your life. Here's the kicker. Dopamine is great at making you feel good now, but it's terrible at giving you long-term satisfaction. It's like eating candy when you're starving. It's a quick sugar rush that leaves you hungrier than before. True joy and fulfillment don't come from dopamine spikes. They come from deeper, more sustainable experiences. Let's look at relationships. That initial spark when you meet someone. Pure dopamine magic, but building a meaningful, lasting connection. That's serotonin, oxytocin, and a whole lot of effort. It's not flashy or instant, but it's what brings real contentment. So how do we break free from this dopamine loop? By recognizing the difference between short-term pleasure and long-term fulfillment. Pleasure is eating an entire box of donuts in one sitting. Fulfillment is learning to bake your own, savoring the process, and sharing them with someone you love. The problem is, the world doesn't market fulfillment. No one's selling contentment subscriptions or inner peace energy drinks. We're surrounded by dopamine triggers, ads, apps, fast food, all designed to keep us hooked. Breaking free means stepping back and asking, is this really making me happy or just giving me a quick high? Dopamine isn't the villain, it's just a tool. The trick is learning to use it wisely, like a candle instead of a wildfire. Because chasing the chemical illusion will leave you burned out, but understanding it, that's the first step toward finding something real. And speaking of real, what happens when we stop chasing temporary highs and start looking for true, lasting happiness? That's where the story gets interesting. Keep watching. In today's world, there's an unspoken rule. No matter what's going on in your life, you better slap a smile on your face and tell yourself, it's all good. Feeling anxious? Just stay positive. Lost your job? Everything happens for a reason. Grieving the loss of a loved one? At least they're in a better place. This is the gospel of toxic positivity, the idea that no matter what, positivity is the only acceptable emotion, and it's silently wreaking havoc on our mental health. Let's be clear, positivity itself isn't the villain here. Optimism, hope, and a good laugh during tough times can be life-saving. But toxic positivity takes it to an extreme, turning positivity into a weapon instead of a comfort. It tells us that if we're not happy all the time, we're somehow failing at life. Think about social media for a second. It's a curated paradise of perfect mornings, flawless skin, and hustle culture mantras like good vibes only and choose happiness. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and even LinkedIn feed us this endless stream of unrealistic positivity. People post highlight reels, not real life. The sleepless nights, the stress-induced acne, the arguments behind the scenes. They're all cropped out of the frame. Now imagine you're having a terrible day. You're scrolling through your feed, and all you see are people living their best lives. Instead of feeling inspired, you feel inadequate. Like you're failing because your life doesn't look like theirs. You think, why can't I just be happy like everyone else? But here's the truth. Everyone else isn't happy either. They're just better at pretending. Toxic positivity doesn't just live online, it seeps into our personal lives too. Ever confide in someone about your struggles, only to hear it could be worse or stay positive? It's invalidating, isn't it? Instead of feeling heard, you feel dismissed. It sends a subtle but damaging message. Your feelings aren't valid unless they're happy ones. This mindset can be particularly harmful when it comes to mental health. Imagine telling someone with depression to just think happy thoughts. It's not only unhelpful, it's cruel. It places the blame on the person for not choosing happiness, as if mental health is just a matter of willpower. Toxic positivity turns real struggles into taboo topics, leaving people to suffer in silence. Even the self-help industry isn't innocent. How many books, podcasts, and seminars promise to unlock happiness if you just try harder? These messages sound uplifting, but they're often rooted in the same toxic positivity. They suggest that if you're not happy, it's your fault. You're not trying hard enough, meditating enough, manifesting enough. The result? A cycle of guilt and self-blame. But here's the thing. Real emotional health isn't about being happy all the time. It's about being authentic. It's about acknowledging and accepting the full spectrum of human emotions: joy, sadness, anger, fear, and everything in between. Sadness isn't weakness. Anger isn't failure. They're signals telling us that something needs attention, healing, or change. Take grief, for example. It's one of the most profound emotions we experience, yet toxic positivity tries to rush us through it. They wouldn't want you to be sad. People say, as if mourning someone you love is a betrayal. But grief is love's shadow. It's not something to fix, it's something to feel. Or consider stress. Toxic positivity tells us to ignore it, to stay calm, and carry on. But stress is your body's way of saying, hey, something's off. Ignoring it doesn't make it go away. It just bottles it up until it explodes later. So how do we break free from toxic positivity? First, by calling it out. When someone dismisses your feelings with a cheery platitude, it's okay to push back. Say, I know you're trying to help, but right now, I just need to feel what I'm feeling. Second, by being mindful of the messages we consume and share. Before you repost that good vibes only mean, ask yourself, is this helpful or could it be hurtful to someone struggling? And finally, by creating spaces where authenticity is celebrated, not shamed. Instead of expecting people to show up with a smile, let's encourage them to show up as they are: messy, complicated, and human. Because here's the real kicker: happiness isn't about forcing positivity. It's about embracing the full human experience with all its ups and downs. Only then can we find true, lasting contentment. And if we start rejecting toxic positivity today, imagine what kind of world we could create. A world where it's okay to not be okay, and where happiness isn't a trap, but a natural byproduct of living authentically. Happiness, it's marketed as something you can buy, wear, drive, or drink. Corporations have perfected the art of packaging joy, selling it to us through promises that feel almost irresistible. And let's be honest, who hasn't fallen for it? The perfume ad that tells you you'll be unforgettable, the vacation brochure that promises paradise, or the sleek gadget commercial that claims it will revolutionize your life. It's not just advertising, it's psychological engineering. This isn't accidental. Entire industries profit from making us believe happiness is just one purchase away. From the moment we open our phones, we're bombarded with messages crafted by experts in human behavior. They know exactly how to tap into our desires and insecurities. Need proof? Just look at the $5 trillion global wellness industry. That yoga mat isn't just a tool for exercise, it's a gateway to inner peace. That juice cleanse isn't just a health trend, it's a promise to detox your soul. But here's the catch: happiness, the kind they're selling, isn't something you can own. It's a mirage. Think about it. When you buy that dream car, wear that expensive outfit, or even take that bucket list vacation, how long does the glow really last? Days? Weeks? Eventually, the novelty fades, and the craving for the next big thing sets in. That's not a coincidence, it's by design. The beauty and fashion industries are masters of this game. They thrive on convincing you that you're almost good enough, but not quite. Buy this lipstick, and you'll feel confident. Use this anti-aging cream, and you'll look young and vibrant. But as soon as you buy into one trend, a new one emerges. The cycle is endless because their profits depend on your dissatisfaction. Social media has supercharged this phenomenon. Influencers flaunt their picture-perfect lives, not just for fun, but for money. Every smoothie they sip, every luxury hotel they stay at, every outfit they wear. It's all sponsored content designed to make you want what they have. But here's the secret they won't tell you. Their happiness is curated, filtered, and highly edited. Behind the scenes, they're just as human as the rest of us, often grappling with the same insecurities they're profiting from. Take experiences, for example. Travel companies sell once-in-a-lifetime adventures, restaurants offer unforgettable dining experiences, and theme parks promise magic. And sure, some of these moments can be genuinely joyful. But the marketing doesn't stop at selling you the experience. It sells you the idea that without it, you're missing out. You're made to feel that your life is incomplete unless you've ticked off these boxes. Even the tech industry isn't innocent. Smartphones, wearables, and gadgets are all marketed as tools to make life easier and happier. The tagline might be "Stay connected," but the real message is, buy this or you'll be left behind. And it works because it taps into a universal fear. The fear of not being enough, of missing out, of falling behind in a world that's constantly moving forward. This endless chase doesn't just drain our wallets, it drains our well-being. Studies show that materialistic pursuits are linked to lower life satisfaction. Why? Because they shift our focus from what truly brings happiness, like relationships, purpose, and self-acceptance, to things that provide only fleeting pleasure. Let's take a step back and ask, why are we so susceptible to this trap? It's simple. Humans are wired to seek happiness, and marketers have become experts at exploiting this instinct. They create problems where none exist, then sell us the solutions. Feeling insecure about your body? Buy this gym membership. Worried about aging? Here's a product to fix it. Want to feel special? Here's a luxury item to set you apart. But the real kicker is that this chase for happiness often leaves us emptier than before. It's not just about the money spent, it's about the emotional toll. When the thing you've been sold doesn't deliver the happiness it promised, it's easy to blame yourself. You think, maybe I didn't buy the right thing, or worse, maybe I'm just not capable of being happy. So how do we break free? By recognizing the game for what it is. Start questioning the messages you're bombarded with. Ask yourself, is this product solving a real problem, or is it creating one to sell me something? Shift your focus from things to experiences that truly matter. Spend time with loved ones, pursue hobbies that fulfill you, and invest in personal growth instead of fleeting pleasures. True happiness can't be bought because it's not a product. It's a state of being built on authenticity, connection, and purpose. The moment we stop chasing the illusion marketers sell us, we can start finding the happiness that's been within us all along. In our relentless pursuit of happiness, we often fail to notice the cost of the chase itself. The emotional toll, the strain on relationships, and even the compromises we make on our physical well-being. All of these are quietly subtracted from our lives, piece by piece. And the worst part? Most of us don't even realize it until it's too late. Think about it. When you're constantly striving to achieve happiness, what happens when you don't reach it? The disappointment can be devastating. It leaves a void that's hard to fill, leading to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. You might tell yourself, I just need to work harder, try more, or change myself to be happy. But this mindset is a trap. Instead of enjoying the present, you're always waiting for the next milestone, the next promotion, the next vacation, something in the future that will supposedly make it all worthwhile. Emotionally, this constant striving creates burnout. Research shows that tying your self-worth to external achievements, whether it's career success or social media validation, leads to chronic stress and even depression. You're always running on a treadmill, trying to reach an ideal that keeps moving further away. And while you're busy chasing, you lose touch with the simple joys that make life meaningful. But it's not just about you. This pursuit takes a toll on your relationships too. When you're consumed by the idea of personal happiness, it's easy to neglect the people around you. Friendships become transactional, measured by how much they add to your life. Romantic relationships suffer because no partner can fulfill the impossible expectation of making you perpetually happy. Family bonds weaken when the time and energy you could invest in them are spent chasing your own goals instead. Consider this. In the quest to live your best life, how many meaningful conversations have you skipped because you were too busy? How many small, priceless moments have been missed because you were focused on what's next? The irony is that the connections we sacrifice in our pursuit of happiness are often the very things that bring us the most joy. Physically, the cost is just as steep. People work long hours, sacrificing sleep and health to afford the lifestyle they believe will make them happy. Gym memberships, beauty products, luxury goods, these might make you feel good momentarily, but at what expense? Over time, neglecting your body's basic needs catches up with you, leaving you more exhausted than ever. Let's not forget the societal pressure that compounds this issue. We're constantly bombarded with images of perfect lives, whether it's the influencer with a dream house or the colleague who seems to have it all figured out. The comparison game is exhausting and, frankly, unwinnable. The more we chase this curated version of happiness, the more we sacrifice our mental peace, trading it for a distorted sense of inadequacy. And then there's the question of deeper values. The pursuit of happiness often means ignoring the things that truly matter: kindness, purpose, and authenticity. These are rarely glamorous or Instagram-worthy, but they're the foundation of a fulfilling life. How often do we compromise our values just to get ahead, to win that fleeting sense of satisfaction? Take Sarah, for example, a woman who climbed the corporate ladder and achieved everything she thought would bring her happiness, money, recognition, and success. But in the process, she neglected her health, lost touch with her closest friends, and became estranged from her family. By the time she realized the cost of her pursuit, she felt empty despite her perfect life. The reality is this: chasing happiness as if it's a prize to be won often means losing sight of the things that make life worth living. Instead of enjoying the present, we're consumed by what if and what's next. And in this race, the sacrifices we make, our time, our health, our relationships, are often far greater than the fleeting moments of happiness we gain. It's time to redefine happiness not as something to chase, but as something to experience in the here and now. To prioritize connection over achievement, fulfillment over fleeting pleasure, and balance over burnout. True happiness isn't a destination. It's in the small, imperfect, beautiful moments we're often too busy to notice. Stop chasing, and you might just find that you already have everything you need. Here's a strange truth about happiness. The harder you chase it, the more elusive it becomes. It's like trying to catch a butterfly with your bare hands. The more you run after it, the more it flutters just out of reach. But the moment you sit still, it might just land on your shoulder. The paradox of happiness lies in this: happiness isn't something you get by chasing it. It's a byproduct of the things you do, the relationships you nurture, and the purpose you find. When you focus solely on being happy, you miss out on the moments and actions that naturally create joy. Consider Paul. Paul spent years trying to find himself through self-help books, yoga retreats, and expensive vacations. He was determined to be happy, but the harder he tried, the more frustrated he became. Nothing ever seemed good enough. Then one day, a simple shift happened. He started volunteering at a local animal shelter. At first, he did it just to distract himself, but soon, the joy of helping others and connecting with animals filled his days. Without even realizing it, Paul had found happiness not by chasing it, but by focusing on something outside himself. This isn't just anecdotal. Research shows that happiness often comes as a side effect of meaningful actions. People who focus on activities like helping others, pursuing a passion, or building relationships report higher levels of life satisfaction. Meanwhile, those who are singularly focused on happiness often end up feeling more anxious and less content. Why? Because chasing happiness puts pressure on every moment. If you're not happy right now, you feel like a failure. And here's the kicker. The moments we think will bring us happiness often don't deliver. Remember that time you finally bought the thing you've been saving for? A fancy gadget, a designer bag, a dream car. Sure, it felt great for a little while, but then what? The thrill faded and you were left wondering, is this all there is? Psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill. We adapt to new pleasures quickly, leaving us chasing the next big thing. Now contrast that with the joy that comes from meaningful work or deep connections. A teacher helping a struggling student understand a concept. A parent reading bedtime stories to their child. A group of friends sharing laughs over a home-cooked meal. These moments don't just feel good, they stick with you. They build the kind of happiness that lasts because they're tied to something deeper than fleeting pleasure. Take Emma, for instance. She was a high-powered executive who spent her 20s and 30s working 80-hour weeks, convinced that career success was the key to happiness. She made it to the top, but the joy she expected never came. Feeling unfulfilled, she decided to take a step back and start a community gardening project. She didn't do it to find happiness. She did it because she genuinely wanted to make her neighborhood a better place. But in the process, she found herself smiling more, sleeping better, and feeling more connected than ever before. This shift is what the paradox of happiness is all about when you stop focusing on happiness itself and instead focus on living a meaningful life. Happiness sneaks up on you. It's not the goal, it's the result. Letting go of the happiness chase doesn't mean giving up on joy. It means redefining it. Instead of asking, what will make me happy? Ask, what's worth my time and energy? When you focus on what truly matters, whether it's building a skill, strengthening a relationship, or contributing to a cause, you'll find that happiness shows up uninvited. Here's a humorous example to drive the point home. Imagine happiness as a cat. Try to grab it, and it'll run under the couch. But sit quietly and do your thing, and before you know it, the cat's curled up in your lap. Happiness works the same way. It's not something to be caught, but something that comes when you stop trying so hard. So what's the takeaway? Stop making happiness your finish line. Instead, focus on living a life filled with meaning, connection, and curiosity. Do things not because they'll make you happy, but because they're worth doing. Ironically, when you stop chasing happiness, you might just find it sitting right next to you. True contentment isn't flashy. It doesn't come with fireworks or a standing ovation. It's not the euphoric high we associate with happiness. Instead, it's a quiet, steady warmth, a deep, unshakable sense that things are okay, even when they're not perfect. Imagine waking up on a rainy Monday morning. You've got a full day ahead, but instead of dreading it or wishing for something different, you feel calm. The rain taps gently on the window as you sip your coffee. You're not ecstatic, but you're grounded, at peace. This is contentment, a life where joy isn't tied to some grand, external event, but comes from within. Contentment starts when you stop measuring life by what you lack and start appreciating what you have. It's not about settling or giving up ambition. It's about shifting your focus from the horizon, always chasing something out of reach, to what's already in front of you. It's about finding value in the everyday moments that make up your life. Take David, for example. For years, he believed happiness lay in success. He climbed the corporate ladder, bought a luxury car, and moved into a big house. But inside, he felt empty. Then, a small change shifted his perspective. Instead of rushing through his day, he started carving out time for things that made him feel whole. Reading to his kids, gardening, cooking dinner with his partner. His days weren't as packed with excitement, but they were full in a way he'd never experienced before. The shift from chasing happiness to embracing contentment isn't just about slowing down. It's about resilience, the ability to weather life's storms without losing your footing. When you're obsessed with happiness, every setback feels like a personal failure. But contentment allows you to see challenges as part of the bigger picture. It's the difference between thinking, Why is this happening to me? And what can I learn from this? Consider Sarah, who lost her job during an economic downturn. Instead of spiraling into despair, she used the opportunity to reassess her priorities. She picked up freelance work, spent more time with her family, and learned to find joy in small victories, like baking bread from scratch or taking long walks. She didn't suddenly become happy all the time, but she became content, grateful for what she had, even as she worked towards something new. Contentment also means letting go of comparisons. Social media can make it feel like everyone else has life figured out. Perfect vacations, perfect families, perfect careers. But true contentment comes when you stop measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel. It's realizing that their journey isn't yours, and that's okay. There's a kind of freedom in contentment that chasing happiness can never provide. When you're content, you're no longer a slave to what-ifs or somedays. You're free to live in the present, to find meaning in what's real and tangible. Imagine sitting down for dinner with friends. The food is simple, the conversation is easy, and for a moment, there's nowhere else you'd rather be. Or picture walking your dog in the evening light, the sky painted with soft shades of orange and pink. These moments might not make headlines, but they're the ones that stick with you, that fill your heart with a quiet kind of joy. True contentment doesn't mean life is without struggle. It means finding peace amid the chaos, joy in the imperfections. It's not about eliminating sadness or frustration, but about weaving them into the fabric of your life, knowing they're part of what makes you human. And perhaps most importantly, contentment is sustainable. It's not a fleeting high that leaves you craving more. It's a steady state, a place where you can rest. So what does true contentment look like? It looks like appreciating the rain instead of wishing for sunshine. It looks like being okay with silence, with imperfection, with the messiness of life. It looks like finding beauty not in what you want, but in what you already have. Because when you stop chasing happiness, you open the door to something much deeper, an authentic, grounded sense of peace that no external achievement can ever take away. Happiness has been marketed to you as a destination, a trophy, a badge of honor. But here's the hard truth: you'll never own it. Because happiness isn't something you capture, it's something you feel in fleeting moments. And the more you chase it, the further it drifts out of reach. Think about how much energy you've spent pursuing this illusion. The self-help books, the endless scroll on social media, the shiny things you bought hoping they'd fill a void. And yet, here you are, still yearning, still chasing, still wondering what's missing. But what if the problem isn't you? What if it's the story you've been sold, the one that says your worth is tied to your level of happiness? The one that makes you believe you're failing if you're not smiling all the time? It's time to rewrite that story, to stop measuring your life by how happy you feel in any given moment. Because real fulfillment doesn't come from chasing happiness. It comes from living with purpose, from embracing the highs and lows, from building something that lasts. Ask yourself, what would your life look like if you stopped running toward happiness and started building meaning instead? What if you channeled your energy into things that matter, into relationships, growth, resilience, and authenticity? This isn't about giving up on joy. It's about finding a deeper kind of joy, the kind that doesn't depend on external validation or temporary pleasures, the kind that comes from knowing you're living in alignment with your values, from doing the hard things that truly matter. So here's your challenge. Stop chasing. Start reclaiming. Reclaim your time, your focus, your energy. Reclaim your power to define what success looks like for you, not what society tells you it should be. Ask yourself what truly matters. Is it the fleeting rush of a dopamine hit, or the quiet satisfaction of knowing you made a difference in someone's life? Is it the next shiny object, or the enduring strength of a relationship you've nurtured over years? Your life is bigger than the pursuit of happiness. It's richer than the temporary highs you've been conditioned to seek. And the moment you stop chasing, you'll realize something extraordinary. Happiness isn't found. It's created in the small, meaningful moments you live every single day. Now is the time to stop running in circles and step into your power, to redefine what happiness means on your terms, and to finally let go of the trap that's been holding you back. Because life isn't about being happy all the time. It's about being fully alive. And that's a goal worth pursuing.